The world's most powerful nations are once again competing for influence in Africa. From establishing diplomatic ties and military bases, the major powers are working to strengthen ties with African countries. But how can Africa position itself in order to benefit from this renewed interest? CGTN's Enoch Sokolia takes a look.
Africa suddenly finds itself in the spotlight of increased diplomatic attention. More and more countries are embarking on an intensive diplomatic offensive to win over countries on the continent. Those who understand African affairs say outsiders have noticed that the continent is important, not least because of its growing share of the global population.
The minerals, Congo has all the minerals you need, uranium, cobalt, it's available there. And wood also from that Congo. So that's the crown of South Africa. Then the labor. Africa, there's a lot of labor, and which gives an opportunity for investment. For example, if you come with investment in technology, like on telephone, use of social media, the African population is young, and they're getting into it, so it's into the new technology. So it's an opportunity for better investments.
Governments and companies from all over the world are hurriedly bolstering their commercial, strategic, and diplomatic relations with the continent. According to experts, this creates vast opportunities. They argue that if Africa handles the new scramble wisely, the main winners will be Africans themselves.
The first one is the idea that Africans are looking for diverse partnerships, not just away from the colonial partners, but also finding alternative ways to explore what it means to be a continent and to take advantage of it.
Foreign engagement with the continent has expanded rapidly. Diplomatically, Africa has experienced the largest embassy construction boom ever since 2010. Foreign military presence is also growing. Djibouti has a U.S. Naval Expeditionary Base that conducts operations in the Horn of Africa and beyond. Many other nations have also established military bases in the country, including France, the former colonial power, Italy, China, and Japan. The French military base in Djibouti is also hosting troops from Germany and Spain. The Sahel region's fight against violent extremism is receiving technological and military support from the United States and France. Russia has signed 19 military deals with African states since 2014, and South Africa is currently hosting joint naval exercises with Russia and China, something that has unsettled Pretoria's Western allies. But experts are urging the continent to focus on partnerships with the potential of giving a great deal of exposure now to Africans. They point at China's win-win approach when it comes to infrastructural and social-economic engagements.
Africa has benefited more than China per se. For the past 10, I would say 15 to 10 years, the Chinese investment has grown very rapidly. Now we understand that's around more than 270 something billion dollars in 2022, which is an enormous amount of resources.
Over the past 2 decades, China has emerged as Africa's most significant and influential development and trade partner. The Asian countries' influence on the continent started to increase rapidly in 2000 after the establishment of the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation, FOCAC. Since then, cooperation forums have been held every 3 years. To emphasize Africa's importance to China, the country's new foreign minister, Jin Gang, started his term with a week-long trip to 5 African countries in January. His predecessors had done so for more than 3 decades and started each year with a trip to Africa. China and the U.S. are competing for influence in Africa, with President Joe Biden making an appeal to African leaders for increased cooperation at a summit in Washington, D.C. in December last year. Enoch Sokolia, CGTN, Nairobi, Kenya.